Assalamualaikum and hello everybody. Today I would like to discuss about adjustment at the end of accounting period. From the question, it gives trial balance and additional information, and you are required to prepare adjusted journal entry, adjusted trial balance, statement of comprehensive income, and statement of financial position. So, from the question, we look at the additional information. A. Inventory on hand means that the ending inventory at the end of accounting period. B. Insurance expired. So from the trial balance given, prepaid insurance is the amount of 2,200. This is the asset. And the insurance expired or the current expenses incurred is 800. We have to adjust the account. So from the trial balance, we have to open from the trial balance the amount for prepaid insurance 2,200. So we have to adjust prepaid insurance account. So it will reduce with the amount of 800, and we get the new carried forward for prepaid insurance is 1,400. And we have to record in the adjusted journal entry debit insurance expenses because we have to recognize the expenses incurred in the current accounting period, and credit prepaid insurance because it will reduce the asset. The next question. C. Accrued salaries expenses. In the current accounting period, we have to increase salaries expenses because accrued salaries are part of the accounting period. So we look at the account for salaries expenses. The balance for salaries is 5,500, and we have to include the salaries payable with the amount of 500 because that one is part of the current expenses in the current accounting period, and at the end of accounting period after adjustment, the balance brought forward for salaries expenses is 6,000. The next one, unearned rent revenue during the year. We look at the trial balance. We got the amount for rent revenue 1,700, and we have to make an adjustment because we find out that unearned revenue incurred during the year 400. So from the account, we have to make an adjustment. The balance 1,700, and it will reduce the amount of rent revenue because unearned rent revenue incurred at that period. So the current rent revenue for the accounting period is only 1,300, and the adjusted journal entry debit rent revenue 400 and credit unearned rent revenue. The next question, write the last one, write off as uncollectible the account receivable, or in other words, bad debt written off. So we have to reduce the amount of account receivable because bad debt expenses incurred during the current accounting period. So the amount for account receivable after adjustment is 8,100. So we have to prepare the adjusted journal entry, debit bad debt expenses 400 and credit account receivable 400. Last one, we have to calculate depreciation based on 10% of cost. So fixed asset, equipment, and we have already the accumulated depreciation. So we have to calculate the depreciation, accumulated depreciation will increase for the accounting period. So during the current accounting period, we have to calculate depreciation expenses 8,000. So accumulated depreciation for the accounting period will increase from 16,000 to 24,000. After finishing all the record, and you can refer for the adjusted journal entry, debit, depreciation expenses, and credit accumulated depreciation. Now, we have to prepare for the adjusted journal and adjusted trial balance. The adjusted trial balance must take into account for all the adjusted journal entry in the adjusted trial balance. So, this is the adjusted trial balance, and we can find out that a few accounts we have to make an adjustment. For example, account receivable, because there is bad debt incurred at the accounting period, and accumulated depreciation increase because we have to include depreciation expenses, rent revenue. We have to reduce the amount for rent revenue because we discovered that unearned rent revenue incurred during the year. Prepaid insurance, we have to reduce the amount because insurance expired incurred during the current accounting period. Salaries expenses, we must increase the amount because payable is part of the current accounting period, and this is the new account that you must include in the adjusted trial balance. There are 5 new accounts that we should include: insurance expenses, salaries payable, unearned rent revenue, bad debts expenses, and depreciation expenses. Now, from adjusted trial balance, we have to prepare the statement of comprehensive income. So, from the trial balance, adjusted trial balance, we have to choose one item for one financial statement. So, you can look at that: cash, account receivable, inventory, equipment, accumulated depreciation, account payable, capital, and drawing. We must record in the financial position statement. And for sales revenue, sales discount, purchase discount, rent revenue, freight in, we must record in statement of comprehensive income. Prepaid insurance is the current asset, we must record in financial position. Purchases, salaries, sales return, purchase return, insurance expenses, we must record in statement of income. Salaries payable is liability, we must record in financial position. Unearned revenue is liabilities, we have to record in financial position. Bad debt expenses and depreciation expenses, we must record in statement of income. So after that, when we make an adjustment, we can find out that the debit side is equals to the credit side. So the red color represents for adjusted journal entry based on the additional information given in the question. Now, we have to prepare for the financial statement. We look at the statement of income. So, statement of comprehensive income, from the adjusted trial balance, you can see the black color. This represents the original amount that we get from the trial balance. So now we have to record all the items from adjusted trial balance into the related financial statement. So we look at the statement of comprehensive income. Sales less sales discount, sales return, we got net sales, and we have to calculate cost of goods sold. So we start with the beginning inventory given from the trial balance, purchase given from the trial balance. You have to refer from the adjusted trial balance, not from the trial balance. We have to refer to adjusted trial balance, purchase discount, purchase return. This amount does not change from the trial balance. And we get cost of goods sold 31,600. And then from there, you must take the new value for rent revenue. We have calculated the rent revenue. We must consider unearned rent revenue. So 1,700 less 400, you got the new figure. And last one, you have to calculate all the expenses. We get a total 15,200 and net profit 21,300. Now, we have to prepare the statement of financial position. It will record for non-current asset, current asset, owner's equity, and liabilities. So, the amount you can get from the trial balance less accumulated depreciation. This is the new figure after adjustment, and you got the amount for equipment. Current asset, cash, inventory, account receivable. Account receivable, you must get the new figure from adjusted trial balance. Prepaid represent for current asset. You can get from adjusted trial balance, and you get the total 31,000. So the total for asset 56,000 plus 31,000, you get the total 87,000. Now we look at the owner's equity. Capital given from the question, because there is no changes, 51,800 plus net profit you get from statement of comprehensive income less drawing, no changes from the trial balance, and you get the ending capital. And liabilities, account payable, you can get from the trial balance. Salaries payable, you get from adjusted trial balance. Unearned rent revenue from adjusted trial balance, and you get the total for current liabilities, 18,000. So 18,000 plus owner's equity, you will get 87,000. So got a conclusion here, asset 87,000 equals to owner's equity plus liabilities 87,000. That's all for today. Thank you.